Is he your friend these days or not?
No, we're not. No, he's just like maximum clout mode. Worse than Hassan. Okay, that guy is. Sneako's brain is wired for clout seeking, but he's doing a really good job. I'll give him that. The dude got axed off YouTube, and he still managed to stay relevant. He still managed to network like crazy. He's managing to get into all the right rooms with all the right people. He's still making content. So, you know, I don't think the issue is having like strong values or rough, like hard to adhere to principles or anything. I think the issue is when you get really judgy about other people. That's the triggering part. And I think that's the thing I always hated about Sneako. Like if Sneako was just like, I'm gonna try to be Muslim, guys, this is what I'm gonna try to do, this is my grind, and you know, he up every now and then or up a lot, it's whatever. It's when you try to stick to something and then you start judging everybody else hardcore for it, right? Like, oh, like you should never do that, you, like I'm so much better than you. Because then when you see that person, it's like, okay, well hold up, motherfucker, okay, you were coming down really hard on me for this shit. Now you're in the same spot, you. Oh, hey, I heard, are you a fellow, I finally got diagnosed with ADHD. That has nothing to do with like any of the conversation of whether or not you should be on amphetamines or not. You shouldn't be yeah, but you shouldn't be comparing yourself.
You know academics?
Yeah, I love him, yeah.
Well, yeah, you love him or not?
No, yeah, me and him we like talk about each other back and forth, but we're gonna connect one day, but I think he's a really funny dude. And he's pretty self-aware. Like he does dumb shit sometimes, but he knows he does dumb shit, so I like Ak a lot. I think he's funny as
yeah, he's funny as shit. Bro, it was so funny. But yeah, I said a story earlier, but we went to the table, right? And then he was talking about like my situation, and I kind of brushed off because I didn't want to talk about it. And he said, bro, all this is happening, man. And he said, you didn't even cheat on the bitch? I said, no. He's like, what the fuck? And he said, why? You at least hit the bitch, right? I'm like, no. He said, not even a little bit? I was like, no, what is wrong with this guy? But just the way he says it, the way he just said it, it was just so fucking funny. Yeah. He's like in the most accurate possible, you know?
Yeah. You should go on his show sometime or do an interview. He's a funny fucking dude. Like,
oh, I interviewed him already. It's fantastic.
Oh, well, there you go. Damn, nice.
And give me his life story.
Have you watched any videos of him talking about his, I don't know if it's his current girlfriend or his ex-girlfriend?
Oh yeah. I mean,
where she fakes the abortion twice. Oh my god, I like DJ Ak. I think he's funny. I don't know if he's still with that same girl or not, but yeah, that guy's, his life is he's a funny dude. Yeah, damn.
Yeah, and then I didn't want to be like mean-spirited, but I tried to like call, you know, not like a call out, but like a friendly call out to Sneako about like, you know, him being a little bit of a hypocrite. If that makes sense, right? Yeah. About like kind of trying to representing like a big like red pill, like super kind of male behavior and shit, and kind of going against all of his principles like on a daily. Right.
Oh, you're saying that the Muslim that's now like doing live streams and shit from the casino is not a good look?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Pretty much. And then his answer was that he just didn't want to influence the kids poorly.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is he your friend these days or not?
No, we're not. No, he's just like maximum clout mode. Worse than Hassan. Okay, that guy is. Sneako's brain is wired for clout seeking, but he's doing a really good job. I'll give him that. The dude got axed off YouTube, and he still managed to stay relevant. He still managed to network like crazy. He's managing to get into all the right rooms with all the right people. He's still making content, so you know he's held on better than I thought he did. A few months ago, I thought he was just going to die because it seemed like he was like in a rut and pretty depressed. But yeah, he's managed to keep building, so good for him on that.
You know what? I think most of the red pillars stand for nothing.
I think there are a few. Like I feel like the fresh and fit guys feel pretty strongly about their shit, but a lot of the other people came into grift after Meditate.
Yeah, but they'll uphold it in privates. No shot.
That's a different thing. Yeah, no, you're probably right there. Maybe but
like what they call people weak for, and then don't do this, don't do that. In private, you know for a fact they do it. Like it's just how it is.
Maybe yeah, depends on what you're talking about, but yeah.
They cave into their own urges and their own weaknesses.
Sure.
Which I think is kind of sad, because I think when you have such strong beliefs, you have to really hold strong on that and really be above. Like that's the risk. That's what I was trying to say to Sneako, is that I kept telling him that something that I realized like in about the middle of my career is that there's a price for standing for certain things, right? And I didn't get that for the longest time, such as, oh guys, like, oh, I'll never run ads or whatever, right, at the time. And then Twitch put the fucking the quotas on us, right?
Yeah.
And they jacked up the fucking prices. They made the deals, and at the point it was like, you had to like shake the devil's hand. If that makes sense.
Yeah,
right?
That's what, like I said, like I don't really like gambling that much. I don't think I would ever take a gambling sponsor. But I mean, like if Stake came up to me, like, listen, 2 years, 150 million, haha, bro, we're gonna be gambling 24/7. I'll be gambling all day. Yeah, yeah. There's going to be a dollar where you change your viewpoint. I don't think the issue is having like strong values or rough, like hard to adhere to principles or anything. I think the issue is when you get really judgy about other people. That's the triggering part, and I think that's the thing I always hated about Sneako. Like if Sneako was just like, I'm going to try to be Muslim, guys. This is what I'm going to try to do. This is my grind, and you know he f***s up every now and then or f***s up a lot. It's whatever. It's when you try to stick to something and then you start judging everybody else hardcore for it, right? Like, oh, like you should never do that. F*** you, like I'm so much better than you. Because then when you see that person, it's like, okay, well, hold up, motherfucker. Okay, you were coming down really hard on me for this shit. Now you're in the same spot. F*** you, right? I think that's what builds or fosters the resentment. Yeah.
And you know what? For all the things that I don't like Moon for, right? You know Moon, you know that guy?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, of course. Well, yeah, bald friend, hell yeah.
That's something that I respect him a lot for. So he said he never takes sponsorships for games because streamers are paid a lot of money, and he doesn't take sponsors, right? And I always said, once I understood, I said, yeah, there's a price for saying things and upholding that, right? And the price of that is that if you say never take sponsors, you don't never take sponsors, right? And you probably lose a lot of money.
Yeah.
And he actually upheld that. And then I realized that like sometimes you can do something like that and actually uphold it and be okay with the price of it, and then without sounding and looking bitter and just doing that. And I have a lot of respect for that.
Yeah.
And I think that's something a good lesson to have somebody around that actually stands for something. Does that make sense? Yeah,
of course. Yeah, I agree.
Because it's very rare that people stand for something and have a big price over it, and they don't go for the price. Because most of us, 99%, I'm going to say how it is, 9% of us, at least young adults, all go for the prize.
True, depending on your situation and everything, yeah. Yeah, I mean, it depends, but yeah.
And you can sugarcoat it as much as you want to. Oh, it's for my family. Oh, it's for my kids. Oh, it's whatever, right? And other people say, oh, yeah, but this guy took deals because he's got kids. Yeah, but, like, still, I don't think there's ever really a massive excuse. It softens the blow a little bit.
I mean, like I said, I think it really depends on your situation and everything, right? Like, I'll say, for instance, like, usually when I talk about, like, I won't do these types of sponsors, I wouldn't do this, I'll usually qualify it and say, I do that, but I can only afford to do that because I'm a pretty big creator, right?
Oh,
if I had, like, 200 concurrent viewers and I, still have Nathan and everything else in my life, and somebody comes by and offers me, like, a $500 a month sponsorship, well, if I'm a 200 viewer Andy, I'm probably taking that. Like, this money might be the difference between me having to stream like 14 hours a day and like 10 hours a day. It super depends on the position you're in and everything too. So, yeah. Like I said, it's good to have values and principles and like to advocate for them, but just don't be, when people get like ultra judgy on everybody else for it, I just think it's really cringe, especially if they f up too. Yeah. Yeah. Oh, hey, I heard, are you a fellow, I finally got diagnosed with ADHD and I'm on drugs now. I heard you're a fellow drug user.
Yeah, so what?
What do you take? Are you on Vyvanse?
I think all of it.
All of it? What, at the same time?
That's fucking right.
Oh, wait, are you like on a good like prescription track, or are you like on a drug abuser track?
Shit, I'm not fucking tell you that. What the fuck is on to you?
Okay, never mind.
I mean, I've tried all of it. Just don't get me wrong. I've been on the early days, the early like almost trial days, really. Some of the products I took at the time were like they kind of just came out.
Okay, gotcha,
so I almost felt like a guinea pig at times.
Okay.
Well, I remember that one time I was in fucking I used to never tell these stories to chat because they're fucking.
Yeah, I see. My chat's all spamming at me that you don't like talking about your prescription, so I didn't know that. Sorry. You don't have to. You don't have to.
Okay. But way back when I had summer school. And I was failing really fucking badly, okay? It was miserable. I had summer school every fucking year and never stopped. Year 1, 2, 3. Sometimes I had summer schools for 2 classes. And then I just kept trialing all these medicines or whatever. And I kept getting headaches. It wasn't working. I kept like fucking zoning out and fucking being like a zombie. And at one point, they gave me this fucking pill, bro. I swear to fucking God, okay? I take this shit, okay? Like always, because at the point I had tried 6 of them. 6 different products.
Jesus.
And I go to school, and I go to the fucking class, okay? And I'm in math first class. It's like 8 a.m. in the morning. Sit down in my chair, bro. And I'm doing this exercise. And I'm zoned the fuck in, right? And then like, I start fucking, I'm tickling, like I'm being tickly. I don't know what's going on. Okay, I have never sweated my entire life. I've never sweated ever. Right? I don't body sweat is not something I just do a lot.
Okay.
I noticed that I had fucking sweat drops running down my ribs on both sides. Right?
Okay.
Because I was fucking tweaking. Like,
okay.
Brother, I was fucking tweaking. Okay? Zoned the fuck in, bugging on a stack, and I was chewing those fucking math puzzles like a fucking genius, bro. It was insane. And that's what I knew, bro. That's what I fucking wanted. Okay? That right there, boom. And I never had so much school ever after that. I never brought a fucking book home. Never did a homework at home. Never took a study, and I passed all my fucking classes, and I got awards for excellence and improvement across the board until I graduated.
Do you ever talk about what that prescription was, or do you not mention the name?
I don't mention the names. I don't want to do that.
Fuck you. Okay.
I don't want to alienate and invalidate people's success based on what they think. I think that's kind of unfair.
You don't want to wait. You don't want to what?
Alienate and invalidate people's success based on what they take and make them feel lesser for it.
Why would that happen, or why would they? That's their problem, not your problem.
Yeah, well, I mean, shit. I'm not doing that.
Okay.
Guys, I don't want people to hear certain names and be like, people go to their friends' rooms and be like, dude, you take this, dude. That's like a freaking cheat code. That's so unfair, blah blah, and be that. I don't want to be somebody who spreads that. I don't think it's fair.
Huh.
It's my own philosophy. I don't want to do that. You feel? It's not like a fucking...
Well, no, I mean, like, that's the whole reason why you take amphetamines, is to get, like, your brain more in line so that you are doing better than you were before. That isn't that, like, the entire point? Is to...
That's what corporate America wants you to think. That's a big pharma wants you to think. Okay? The reality is, I'll tell you straight up, it's just a blatant, massive fucking corporate lie.
What?
Okay? You don't take these products to be up to par with others. That shit doesn't make you like in line with everybody. It gets you ahead. Like, once you understand that, you'll be better for it. Trust me.
Okay. There's like absolutely no like research data or anything to support that idea whatsoever. But I mean, if you want to think that, that's fine. But
I mean, you're wrong.
I'm not wrong. I mean, my kid's on these drugs and I am on these drugs. Not a lot of research on it, but I mean, hey, listen, if you got a personal feeling about it, like, don't let me talk you down from it. But
a personal okay, yeah. Even your chat says that's coping. Even your chat says you're wrong. Okay, I'm sorry.
Oh well, if chat says I'm coping, then fuck me. You know, Jesus.
Such cope. Yeah, this in your chat's going on. You know you're wrong about that. Like, brother, like the imbalance you have, okay, on your fucking prefrontal cortex, okay? Some fucking amphetamines isn't gonna make you normal like everybody else, okay? You have a central nervous system stimulator, okay? In your bloodstream, you're not up to par. You're fucking tweaking. Like, I don't know what you're on about. Am I crazy here? Like, chat, can you guys back up on this? Christ.
Well, I think the idea is just that people whose brains we would say are ADHD have a very, very, very high requirement for dopamine. They constantly need stimulation, and this results in much higher impulsivity than like an average person. And the idea behind taking a stimulant or an amphetamine is to make it so that your brain requires less of that stimulation, so you just have better impulse control. That's all it's supposed to do. That's all it's supposed to help you with. It's like impulse control, essentially. So if you take an amphetamine as an ADHD person and then you feel like you're way more in control of yourself or you can focus better, that's just supposed to feel like what a normal person's brain ordinarily feels like. It doesn't make you superhuman. It doesn't make you smarter. Like an amphetamine isn't going to like give you information. It's not the limitless drug.
I feel like that's like saying I need to get like an enhancer because my biceps aren't very strong, right? And you take an enhancer that works for your entire body. Like, yeah, guys, look, my biceps are right now my biceps are exactly like yours. Now we're on par. Okay, what about the rest of your body? Shit, you're running way faster. Now you see
amphetamines don't help you with everything else. They don't help you with like memory retention. They don't help you with, it's not like amphetamines boost everything else. All amphetamines should do is give you more executive function so you can choose to do what you want to do. That's all they should help with. They don't boost your whole body. They don't help with a whole bunch of other things. Like, what else do you think amphetamines help you with?
All right, if you want to think that, I think you should give it a Google search.
I don't need to give
Google search will help you there. It will help you there.
Okay.
I mean, literally.
Yeah.
I don't think I'm insane here. Yeah, you didn't even say anything, just Google it. Literally. Wait, no, I think he's paraphrasing me.
You think I'm paraphrasing you?
No, I think the chat was paraphrasing me. No, guys, I'm pretty sure he's partially right, but yapping, God, I'm pretty sure I'm right about this. You're wrong. I'm a human arbor. That's not very nice.
Here, can I tell a super quick story that I got from an email that changed my thinking on this quite a bit? It's gonna sound like I'm sucking myself off a lot. Okay, ready? I think that there are. Would you consider yourself like more intelligent than average?
Yes.
Okay. I think I'm above average intelligence. Okay. I don't think I'm like 190 IQ or anything, but I think I'm like decently intelligent. I think that somebody emailed me and they said one of the big issues you run into when you consider starting drugs for ADHD is that when you take a drug, you feel like you're superhuman. And then you look at other normal people and you try to compare your new work ethic on the amphetamines to like the ordinary people. And he said that, and one of the things his email said was like, well, if you're actually like a decently average, or if you think you're above average intelligent person, then if you take an amphetamine and then you compare yourself to a normal person, you're not really doing an accurate comparison. You should compare yourself to like a group of people that you think you're probably more in line with. So if you take an amphetamine and now you're comparing yourself to somebody that's taking like algebra in college, well, of course you're going to feel like you're superhuman. But if you imagine that you'd be more on par with like maybe like somebody in law school or maybe somebody who's like studying engineering or some other thing, and you think like, okay, well, would I expect a person who's going to school at that level to be able to read for 6 hours? Well, the answer in my brain, I think probably, yeah, I would expect them to be able to read for 6 hours. I think when you start doing comparisons to people that are more similar to you neurologically, I guess, or intellectually or whatever, I think that the drugs seem way less like magical than if you compare yourself to like super like rudimentary, ordinary, or like like lower achieving people, I guess, right? Because people will take an amphetamine and then they'll be like, oh well shit, like, you know, I feel like I can read a book for like 6 or 7 or 8 hours. Yeah, every single person that does like post grad work or goes to college and takes like hard majors reads a lot like every day, you know? It's not like that's not like a superhuman thing. That's just a decently intelligent person that wants to focus on something.
I understand what you're saying.
Sure.
I'm just telling okay, so that makes a lot of sense under normal circumstances, right? If you think about an average college student that will go to their college class at 8 a.m. in the morning, right? Think about everybody. Do you think that they, at 8 a.m. in the morning, are a human that you would assume that you would quantify as average or in normal circumstances? Do you?
Are you fixated on the college part, or are you fixated on the 8 a.m. part here?
I mean, you're waking up 8 a.m. in the morning. You get into your class. Is that your average? You would say, if you were to make a research on a group, would that be like the most normal function somebody can have? 8 a.m. in the morning, college students.
I can't tell if you're focused on.
Okay.
Are you focused on the 8? No, wait, stop that. Are you focused on the 8 a.m. part or the college student part? I don't, because you're saying 8 a.m. college student. I don't know what you're focused on.
I'm saying all of it.
All of it?
They're probably sleep deprived, right? They're probably malnutrition because they probably didn't eat as much and they probably didn't have time for breakfast, right? They're probably under stress. For a lot of things. Now they're not like really performing up to par.
Maybe, but hold on. Isn't 8 a.m. when all of us go to school? Isn't that like the normal school start time? Exactly.
That's what I'm telling you. I'm just saying like overall.
Okay.
You say how well is somebody supposed to function, right? And how well are you supposed to function if you're like fucking sleep deprived or whatever in the morning, right? What I'm telling you is just my personal experience. Okay, personal experience. I think it's a big deal to like put you in line to really like put on your glasses to have that in the morning, right? At 8 a.m. when the shit fucking kicks in, right? And you're wired the fuck in, you're far. I'm sorry. I'm gonna say how it is. You are far ahead of everybody else. Okay, by a long shot. Doesn't matter how much fucking caffeine the other guy took, how much whatever the fuck. Okay. If you woke up 6:45 before you commuted to school and you took it and it kicks in at like 8 a.m. when you get to school, you are performing much above of your peers by a long shot. It's not even close either.
Okay,
you're spark awake.
I agree with you there, but your comparison is not even. You're talking about if you take a bunch of sleep-deprived people and then you throw one dude on amphetamines at a certain time, can he like survive on less sleep for a while? Yeah, sure, with massive long-term health consequences. But that's I mean, but the other people could also just go to sleep earlier, right?
You literally just described, bro, you cannot be this out of touch. Your average fucking non-rich college these days, right? On a fucking budget, that's what their life is. They are sleep deprived. They are waking up tired. They are waking up fucking with not enough food and shit like that. That's just kind of how it is. Your average person is deprived and is tanking health consequences on across the board for their future. That's just how it is. Like, ignoring that is insane.
That has nothing to do with like any of the conversation of whether or not you should be on amphetamines or not. You shouldn't be comparing. Yeah, but you shouldn't be comparing yourself to a sleep deprived person, and you shouldn't be comparing yourself to your own sleep deprived state. Like, if I'm doing an amphetamine, like I am now, I'm not thinking like, God, this drug helps me so much because I can get 2 hours of sleep and be wide awake the next day. That would be fucking retarded. Yeah. There's a whole host of drugs I could do if I wanted to artificially shorten the amount of time I'm sleeping. Of course, you're supposed to be you're supposed to be comparing it to yourself in your optimal state. Like, okay, once I've had 8 hours of sleep and then I wake up and I do work, what's the difference between that versus when I'm medicated? That's what the comparison is supposed to be. Why the fuck would you compare yourself to somebody sleep deprived? I could think of like a million different types of drugs that give you a huge advantage if you want to compare yourself to people that are ruining their health, of course.
So if some guy fucking was awake until the same time as me last night and had to wake up at the same time as him the next day,
yes,
right?
Yes.
Well, he's getting his cheeks fucking collapsed raw.
Wait, say that again?
If somebody, right, did the same sort of workload as me on a certain day and they go to sleep at the same time as me, right? And we're all in the same heavy workload and we wake up in the morning or the next day and we have to wake up at the same time, right? Well, I'm gonna win.
Why?
Why? Because I have that and he doesn't.
I think there are lots of things you can do. Like, I'm a super morning person. Even without drugs, I'm a very big morning person. If I wake up at 8 a.m., by like 8:15, I'm gonna be ready to go. I think that different people might be morning or evening people. That probably has more to do with your like circadian rhythm, how much sunlight you get in the day. But no, you don't. Hold on. It's not normal that you need a drug to be a morning person. If you're a healthy human being, you should be able to wake up, see the sunlight, get a drink of water, and in about like 15-20 minutes, you're awake and ready to go, just as much as you would be against another dude that's on fucking amphetamines. Of course, you should be. If you can't do that, if you're groggy for hours after waking up, then there's something that's fucked up with your diet. You're not getting enough exercise throughout the day.
You're right. But again, I don't think that you seem like a decently at least well balanced person in that case. Most people are not.
Sure.
I wish you understood that.
I do understand that, but I'm not here advocating for somebody that is sleep deprived with a poor diet and horrible habits and their whole life is fucked up. I'm not advocating for that person to hop on amphetamine so that it fixes their life. That would be retarded, obviously.
I'm just saying it's a de facto crutch, and you believe it or not.
You can call it a de facto crutch, but the reality is if your brain is super fucking impulsive, you can go through your whole life thinking like, oh, well, I'm not going to take this crutch or whatever. That's fine. You'll just be a loser your whole life. I mean, if you have to choose between never being able to establish healthy habits, never being able to, achieve at the level you could in your life, and never being able to accomplish anything that you want to, but you'll be like 65, like, well, at least I didn't take amphetamines, while you're on whatever other medications now for fucking diabetes, hypertension, you're wearing glasses, whatever the fuck else. I mean, if you want to like purity test yourself that way, you can, but literally all you're doing is destroying yourself. And then at the end, I guess you walk into your grave with all of your honor and dignity intact and you have no idea what kind of life you could have led. If you want to do it, it's fine. But just acknowledge that like you're not getting anything besides some like weird, misguided sense of self-satisfaction and honor that nobody else on the planet cares about. Nobody else is going to give you props or credit for walking around like a fucking retard because you won't take a simple pill that'll help you make better decisions. But you know what? I'm just saying, if you want to do it, that's fine. But for the people listening, because there's some guy listening, he's like, well, fuck, should I get medication? Well, xQc says that I should just like fuck my whole life up and just suffer through this, and maybe someday it'll change.
You shouldn't. That's not what I said. I didn't say that. But I did this. Listen, you can literally go to the VOD. I had an argument that was the exact thing you just said, right? I said, if you were to somehow make better decisions, right, and take something that's potentially damaging and cut your lifespan by like a slight fraction, have a more fulfilling, better life because you get something you need, right? I mean, I think it's probably something you should probably look as a possible option, right? I think that's completely fair because there's no you don't get some sort of weird fucking achievement for being way down the line that, oh, I didn't do this, I didn't take this crutch, I didn't do this, I didn't take this trade-off, and I'm just too cool. I'm unhappy, alone, broke, didn't reach any goals, and I'm on my fucking couch and watching TV. But I didn't do that. Like, I think that's a very bad way to see life in general. So I do agree with you on that. I think we both agree on that. I don't advocate for any of this shit. I never, bro. I'm a big advocate against it. You know that, right?
Against what?
Well, I think there's a massive overprescription of this shit across the board. Okay? You need to understand that I have literally... Okay, listen. Out of anybody you met, I swear to you, this is true. Okay? Out of anybody you have met in your entire life, I guarantee you, I'm probably in your 1% percentile, a person who has done the most tests or the most fucking doctor, what is it called, like fucking interview or reviews of all of them for ADD, ADHD. Okay, I've had hundreds of fucking full tests written, right, where they say, in a class, I'm likely to tap my foot on the ground 1 to 5, right? The teacher is talking, blah blah. I'm moving in my chair 1 to 5, all that shit, right?
Yeah.
Fucking. And the way, at least from my understanding, in the United States, the way they prescribe it is like they don't give a fuck. You could probably just fucking Google a script, some shit like that, and get it prescribed in like fucking 10 minutes.
Sure.
And it should be a full eval done.
Sure. And
right?
listen, I don't disagree with you there. My prescription came from calling a telehealth thing, and it wasn't even like a DSM-5 like diagnosis list.
Yep.
I know the 1 to 5. Yeah, you get a prescription for sure, 100%. I don't disagree. It probably is overprescribed. One thing that I wonder, and I haven't done research on this, but I wonder when I hear a lot of people talk about like bad side effects from ADHD medication, I wonder if that's because they're taking it and they probably shouldn't be. They don't need it. So I don't disagree with you. That's possible. But I think that's like a separate category than people that could like benefit from it a lot. Because I've talked to people that have immensely benefited from it, that got it very, very, very late in life, like 30 plus, who wish they would have had it earlier. So I think it's important to separate those two things out. But yeah, I'm sure it does feel like that it's very easy to get these types of scripts in the United States. It's probably too easy. I don't deny that. But I'm not talking about like the 18-year-old drug seeker who just wants to get hyped up on fucking Addies because it's going to make him excited or euphoric for a day. I agree that overprescription is a problem, but I don't think that that's a reason to never get it. I think those are two separate arguments.
Oh, yeah, they definitely are. So it's something I noticed,
Sure.
especially in the United States. I think it was kind of insane. Oh, I never did that. I did something called neurofeedback to fix my brain.
You said you did neurofeedback to fix your brain?
Yeah, it's a mix of biofeedback and then neurofeedback at a fucking facility.
Okay.
And it kind of fix your brain up.
Wait, did you say it fixes your brain up or fucks your brain up?
It fixes it. It's a fix.
Okay. Do you think it helped you?
Yeah, it did actually. Yeah, it did. And you know what? It's actually quantifiable on a fucking computer. It's like they could literally. It's not like lobotomy, but it kind of is. Yeah. They could quite literally see at which frequencies your brain operates on a normal basis by like wiring it and shit like that through like some like imaging and shit. And what it does is that they test it initially, they see the problems with it, right? And then they kind of do this feedback training you do, and you fix your brain, and after weeks of it, they redo it, they do it again, they fucking test it again, and they see where they're at. And it's pretty dank. I thought it was pretty helpful. You know the way that works? You know how it works? Ever looked at that?
Do I know how it works?
Yeah, have you ever look into that ever?
I've not heard about that before. No, I can kind of guess.
It's pretty cool. I'm gonna give you a quick rundown again, and after that we can move on.
Okay.
It's because I told this to chat a billion times before. Like, chat has heard this a million times, but I'll tell you again. Okay, so basically, you go in front of the computer, okay, and then there's a part of your brain that's not functioning at a certain. They want it to operate at a certain frequency, and it comes down to like fucking electric waves, right? Fucking. And they know what the target is for it to be good or green, and they know where you're at, like yellow or red, and they want to get there. So they set the quota on where it should be at. And they put you in front of a computer, and they wire they put your ear on some pincer, and they put the part of your brain on a fucking like an electrode. They put on that calculates your fucking your waves in there. And then they put you in front of a video, okay. But it's not a video. It's kind of like a video that you control with your brain. And what it does is that when your brain is operating in the target frequency, it goes forward. It actually, the video plays. And if your brain is not in that target, the video stops. So the way it was for me, we had a roller coaster, and I would be on a roller coaster. And if my brain was in the correct fucking mindset, it would go forward. And then it would stop. And it's really hard to understand, like, how do I fucking make it go forward? Like, how? Right? Because you don't know how to teach your brain, like, yo, dude, make it go forward. That's not how. Your brain has to be in the correct fucking frequency. And how do you do that? Well, it's what it's called neural feedback. Is that you get feedback in real time what's going on. So you test out like certain fucking like mind states, and then once you hit the right amount, okay, that's what I have to do. And you teach yourself to be in that target. You know, you don't know how to make it. You just try it with feedback, and you get there, right? And then at one point, so it goes forward for like a second and it stops for like 5 seconds. And it goes forward for like 2 seconds and it stops. And it stops. And at one point, you get so good at it that the video almost plays entirely. It goes, and then it only stops like for a couple times. And then after weeks of this fucking bullshit, okay, I got into in the absolute fucking brain mode, okay, where they just up the fucking ante. And now it's even, now they add an element of almost frustration or emotional compound to it, which is the motherfucking roller coaster goes backwards when you're not in target. So now, like, I'm making this bitch ass go forward with my brain. This motherfucker starts going backwards, and I'm like, and I'm trying to fucking flex my brain for this bitch to go forward, and it goes backwards even faster. And then it's just like, that's just how it is. Okay, that's what the neurofeedback is. It's getting to that zone all the time, to the point where at one point you do it so much it becomes second nature, and that becomes your new target, and then you're always in that frequency by default. I think that's the target. I think that's what they try to do anyway. And after fucking weeks or whatever the fuck that I was done with that, they retested it, and I was doing much better on my prefrontal cortex right or some shit like that. It was huge.
What were you doing? What were you doing, or what were you thinking about, or how were you trying to change the way that your like EEG patterns or whatever the fuck were?
See that? That's fucking, bro. That is, it's hard to fucking tell you. Like, it's why it's called feedback. Is like, you don't really know. You're just kind of like just testing out your fucking mental state a little bit. Like, it's kind of hard to tell you. You just since the video gives you a feedback of when you're in it, should emulate when you're in it. So at first it's kind of random, right? At first you just kind of think and calm and whatever the fuck with your head, and then you hit it once and you're like, okay. It's just, it's based on focus, exactly. And also before all that, you still another thing called biofeedback. Biofeedback is like where they you learn how to breathe. Because believe it or not, in our current day and age of a lot of stress and fucking quotas and shit and 9-to-5s and whatnot, people forgot how to breathe. Believe it or not, okay? People do like they breathe too high up, right? And they need to learn how to do like the diaphragm or like fucking bottom of the lungs breathing. But nobody does that. That's why people have very inefficient breathing, because they breathe from right here, like next to their upper chest or whatever. But you have to learn how to breathe from the bottom of your lungs, right? It takes actual good breathe, and then you just flat out, okay, guys. You could probably just fucking Google me on this. You could probably Google this, okay? I'm sure you'll find it, okay? And I'm not waffling. So
for the breathing into the diaphragm thing you're talking about, there's something that singers learn. If you don't know if you're breathing into your diaphragm or your stomach, or I'm sorry, your chest, The easiest way to test this is you'll always breathe correctly if you lay down on your back and you take a deep breath. You'll always feel like your stomach filled with air, and that's the type of breathing you're supposed to go for while you're sitting up. You'll notice if you do that and then you sit up and you breathe, a lot of people breathe into their chest, which is like a lot of tension, and you can't take as big a breath rather than breathing down into your diaphragm. Yeah.
You know what? That's okay. Yeah, because whatever I was saying on the mic, we were breathing differently. But yeah, so I remember that. So then I had like a lot of the early weeks were more focused on biofeedback because I had to learn how to breathe properly, which is really a disaster because it's really hard. Like that even towards the end, I was almost done with the next stuff. I still wasn't fucking good at breathing because I think it's pretty hard. It takes a long time to learn. And then we had like a little fucking like a little ellipse that would show, and it'd be like it would tell you when to inhale, when to exhale and shit. And then you had a fucking electrode on your ear that checked on your heart rate and your oxygen or whatever the fuck. And then it would just kinda anyway. So I think a lot of that, I think meditation as a whole kinda does a lot of that for you. If you do it right? I think just meditation, you achieve all that or the benefits of all that by just doing it. So I looked into meditation, but I think it was a very big eye opener though. That breathing right is a big deal because a lot of the fucking stress people have, right, is just because they breathe like shit. Literally, like most people have like an extra day of stress for free that they're giving themselves just because they don't actually breathe properly. It's like, I don't know why there's not like a massive like wave of awareness that everybody knows that there's like ads about this, like breathe properly. Yeah, because breathing from the top of your the top of your lungs, not the bottom, it literally induces stress straight up. That's just what it does. Yeah. Anyway, I hope that was kind of somehow informative, if not, and I hope I didn't say anything that was misinformation or whatnot. All right.
Okay.
Did you know that or not?
Yeah, like I said, for the music, because I went to college for music, the breathing stuff is obviously very important, because if you're trying to play long passages, you've got to take deep breaths, and if you breathe into your chest, you can't take as deep a breath unless you breathe into your diaphragm. There's like it's a way less oxygen, yeah.
Sick. Mouth breathers. Yeah, there's also that. Anyway. Anyway. It's fucking 2 p.m.
Yeah.
And I've been live for 12 hours. I think I'm gonna go say hello to the Twitch boys because I didn't get to talk to them today.
Yeah, well, good
luck.
luck.
And after that, I'm gonna come back on Kick and fucking kick it.
Yeah, have fun. Be careful, bud. Oh, do you like the new CEO guy? Did you talk to him at all?
You know what? I think he's pretty alright.
Oh, cool. Okay.
Well, I mean Dan?
Yeah, DJ Dan Clancy or something, right? Is that his name?
Yeah, I think he was pretty, because I don't mind saying it, okay?
Uh-oh.
I don't mind saying it. Alright, this is gonna be drama and I don't give a fuck saying it.
Oh, shit.
Even though he's a CEO, there's a lot of people under him and a lot of staff under him, right? A lot of teams that work at whatever. And ever since the Kick stuff, I was giving the cold shoulder a little bit. Just fine. I didn't know it was gonna be like that. No problem. But a lot of my plus ones disappeared. Like plus ones to parties, plus ones to TwitchCon as a whole. Flights, shit just got kind of taken off, you know. And on paper, like before my big Twitch contract, I was getting those things, and I got the big contract. And now that I'm not on anymore, now I do the same thing for them, but like I just kind of lost the rewards, whatever, which kind of sucks because they made me feel like kind of
special. Yeah.
You guys don't say no shit, but if we're at 0 or let's say we're at 1, okay, and I have something, and then I get now I'm at 2, and I'm given the same thing, and now I go back to 1. I'm still doing my 1, but I lose the thing that I got by getting to 1. I'm not at 0, I'm still at 1. So then, guys, I'm not complaining about it. I'm just telling you like something I noticed. Right? It's not a big deal. I'm not like, crying about it. But what I was thinking was cool is that as soon as he got wind of it, Dan sent me a DM, and he wanted to talk about it. Because he was like, yeah, dude, like I don't know why it's even a thing or whatever. And he wanted to know more about it. Which I think was it was like a nice touch because it's not like something that I think they tweeted about or oh wait. Then addressed it on stream.
Well, damn. Well, that's cool. At least he's reaching out. That's friendly, yeah. Okay. Well, hey. Have fun doing Twitch. And say hi to the boys for me. And yeah, be careful, buddy.
All right.
Love
We're
you.
good.
Bye.
Bye. See you later.